So here's our little weeping willow tree, and this is where I'm going to place this core set. Okay, so I will cut this short and then show you what it looks like. Okay, so we placed the tree inside the core set, and then I am going to still brace the tree with the crowbar like I had it. It's a young tree and we want it to grow straight up, but this is the idea. Miss Weeping Willow, Lady Weeping Willow. What are we going to call her, Legacy?
Mrs. Weeping Willow.
Mrs.? She's married?
I don't know.
Alrighty. That's what I wanted to do with this Dollar Tree baskets. Seen here at Legacy's Little Luxuries Arts and Crafts YouTube. Hashtag Art is Freedom. Bye. Hi folks. This is part 2 with my outdoor garden idea using the Dollar Tree waste paper baskets. I sculpted this queen. She'll be wearing a dress with a cute little curly cues on the bottom, and then the crown with the other Dollar Tree basket. Now, what I'm going to do was the same concept that I showed in this last video with the weeping willow tree, and I allowed the basket to encompass or encapsulate the trunk of the tree. I'm going to use an azalea plant. I'm going to place this out in the fairy garden in the front yard. I have to use wire cutters to cut some holes so I can allow at least a branch of the azalea to come through this crown. And then I am going to cut out the hole right there to allow the other part of the azalea to grow upward and then to sprout out above this core set. So I spray painted this yesterday. It's good to go now for today. I covered the bell here with tape so that, because it's silver, I have to peel the tape. I have to assemble this crown somehow. Well, I'll use wire, but I don't know where I'm going to place it just yet. I think I'm going to place it on the side. And then I will go outside and find an area in the fairy garden where she can also stay outside this winter. Now, I shovel a lot. My fairy garden is very close to the sidewalk, so I have to make sure that when I shovel in the winter, I'm not going to bury her, okay? And I will be covering it in the winter, too, to keep the azalea from dying. But I just have to locate it in a certain area where I'm not going to be snow covering it when I shovel. I have to think about things like this because our front is very small and it's very close to the sidewalk, and that's where I always have to shovel to keep from the city fining us if we don't shovel our walkways. So let's head outside now. And well, first I'll cut everything, assemble where I want the crown, and then we'll head outside and I'll show you the area where I'm going to place this. Okay? Let's continue later. Okay, a quick break to show you how I wired this crown on. Now I have it braced right here. Remember, the flower in its foliage is going to cover this wire. You are not going to see this wire once this plant grows and the leaves spread out. However, I want it to remain like this, so I braced it here, and then I tied it with wire in 3 spots on this side. So this is how it sits. The plant I have has 2 connecting branches to the main trunk. So one will go this way, and when I set this, the other one will go through here. You'll have to see how I have it when it's finished, but that's how I am visualizing it now. And like I said, wire it together now, for this is going to be out in the rain, the wind, the sleet, the snow in Michigan. So once you secure that crown, it's secured. It's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so let's continue and we will be outside shortly. Okay, I have my potting soil. I have a spade to dig a small hole. I borrowed my shovel to my daughter, so she has my digging shovel, so I'll just use the spade. The ground's wet right now, so it's easy to turn. You do need, when I place my ornaments in my yard, I stake them. And I use these really long stakes from Ace Hardware. They're very inexpensive and they save a lot of lost, wind-blown items in your yard when it's light. And this Dollar Tree basket is light, so we're going to stake it in the ground. Here's the azalea that I'm going to use. See, it has 2 stalks. That was my envision, to place the one through the crown and then the one through the body. I am going to trim this up. I don't want this growing right now through the base yet, but I do want these to sprout out this summer. And then, of course, some landscape stone to go around it. And this will not be buried in the snow in the winter. I will not be shoveling snow on top of it. So let's continue and let's get going. Okay, remember there's some mulch when you buy azaleas, so place that mulch around the tree that came with the pot. Now I'm staking this in the ground. And I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stakes. And this is where the azalea reaches right now. So as it grows, I'm going to guide it into the crown. Alright, so once I get these staked in, I'm going to place the border around it, add some more fill dirt, and let's take a final video. Looks beautiful. Oh, and here is the weeping willow lady the next day. Yesterday it was so overcast and it was very dark. But here she is right now in the morning sunshine. My grasshopper's really picking up the light. It's pretty. Kind of adds whimsical look because she looks kind of wicked, doesn't she? But she isn't. She's the Miss Weeping Willow. Alright, I decided I'm going to get some water and water the front queen of the azalea. So I'm heading over to the hose to get some water, and then I'll go out to the front and water her down. And I'll probably even plant some flowers around her yet too. This is only the beginning of June. I might pick up some marigolds. I'm not sure. I might place marigolds around the willow tree yet. We'll see. Hi, this is Miss Jones. I am under my gazebo right now that I place up every spring. And I just want to prove to you a point. I always tell the girls to wear sunscreen. And they always tell me, well, I'm in the shade, Basha, I don't need sunscreen. If a solar fountain is still working, it's barely working, but it's still working underneath your gazebo, you are getting sun rays. The UV light is going through, and you are still going to get a burn. So make sure to wear your sunscreen. This year, next year, when I was young, I used to put butter on my skin and take a tan. Oh boy. I don't have skin cancer yet, but just wait. It might add up to me. But yes, this is solar. This only works with solar rays. So I wanted to show you this as my tip. Be sure to wear sunscreen, even if you think you're in the shade and you're not going to get burned. Bless. Here's what it looks like in full sun. Just so that you know, I purchased this on Amazon. I had a product review for it a couple videos back. And yes, it's in a vintage punch bowl if you recognize it. Isn't that cute for a little outdoor tabletop fountain for your picnic area? Upcycle first before you go out and buy crafts. That's what I do. Bless.